Oh, awesome. All right, so from one thrilling adventure to another, the Africa Race Together, a development-driven foundation committed to lowering the barriers of entry into motorsport, and the South African Endurance Series is making significant strides toward inclusivity and transformation in the field. So today, the foundation will host 215 grade 10 and 11 students from local high schools, introducing them to career opportunities within the motorsport industry that extended beyond the role of the driver. V's there, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about this. Wasiria, this is a fantastic initiative. Talk to us.
A very good morning once again, Leanne, to you as well as to our viewers at home. I can tell you it's pretty loud in here because officially the cars are on the track. They'll be racing until about 11 today. I am joined now by Wayne Riddle, who is the CEO of Inter Africa. Wayne, I just want to start our conversation and speak to what does the entry into motorsport look like for the average youngster?
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for the opportunity. What's the entry look like? It's a multifaceted entry. The motorsport, by its pure nature, is an expensive sport. But we, as the Africa Race Together division within South African Endurance Series, have this new foundation where we believe we can try and get the youth more involved and educate and get them to a point where they can get involved in the sport from the support infrastructure. So I'll give you an example of that. We got Red Bull Racing. Everybody knows Max Verstappen. He's won the World Championship again this year. But no one talks about the 360 people behind him to make him the champion. So we believe you can either go find one racing driver and create employment for one, or you can go and train people to support a racing team, and you can go and create employment for 300 people. So the whole Africa Race Together Foundation and movement within the South African Endurance Series is about starting there.
And how do you identify these youngsters that then get access to what you have to offer?
So currently we're engaging with the schools, and we are picking students that are excelling in the STEM subjects, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And those are the kids that we believe they chose the subjects. We're letting them know here's another career choice. And in fact, today we have a schools outing. We got 10 or 11 schools that are actually coming here today, all the STEM students that are doing well. The grade, I think it's 10 and 11, they'll be here shortly, and then we're going to give them a tour of the facility, a behind-the-scenes tour, because it's the behind-the-scenes that makes up motorsport.
When you speak about those that are doing well in the STEM subjects, some people sitting at home right now may be saying, well, doing well is relative. So what exactly are you looking at in terms of what those grades are looking like in those STEM subjects?
We are looking at students that are in the A range, A plus, A minus. That's kind of where we are. Those are people who are serious about what they do, and based on that, we want to show them that there is career opportunities.
Let's speak a little bit more about those career opportunities, because you did mention earlier that generally when we think motorsport, when we look at a Red Bull team, we'll just only think of a Max Verstappen. When we look at Mercedes, we only think of Lewis Hamilton. But there's so many other components that have to work together to make a Max Verstappen, to make a Lewis Hamilton, to make a Lando Norris, and in our case here, to make a Xolile. So what do those other components look like, and what are those other careers that we can look into?
So, believe it or not, it's going to come as a surprise to you, but it's a wide-ranging. Physiotherapists, dietitians, presenters, people in media, because they've got to do the social media element, tire engineers, fuel engineers, telemetry data specialists, mathematicians who can work out the race strategies, the fuel ratio mix, air fuel ratio mix. So it's a wide range and a wide spectrum. That's basically the support infrastructure that makes an event like this happen. And even our officials who run this event, no one sees them, no one hears about them or talks about them. But I have a timekeeper, there's somebody who's watching all the cars in the laps. That is a specialized job. We have technical consultants and engineers, and their job is to check that the vehicles comply. I have a race director and a clerk of the course who needs to know the rules of the sport, and there's a safety element to it as well. So there's a lot of unsung heroes behind the scenes that actually make an event like this the success that it is.
That's absolutely mind-blowing and phenomenal. Let's also just touch on, earlier on you mentioned about just trying to make motorsport more accessible. Speak to me about the work that you are doing with the disadvantaged or previously disadvantaged communities.
I don't think anyone is disadvantaged. I think they've been previously excluded, and let's call it what it really is. I think that the raw reality is that motorsport is an ecosystem. And after the sanctions process, for good reason, we found ourselves that it was not restarted or kick-started correctly. So we've had a half-producing product that without a proper ecosystem, it doesn't work. So from an ecosystem perspective is that we create a vibe like we do this weekend. It's not just about the noise of the cars. I've got 12 hours of music up on a big festival. Why? Because South Africa's culture is not a car culture. We're a food and music culture. So it's like a worm on a hook, really, when you go fishing. We attract them here with the music and the food, and we introduce them to motorsport. But that's the way we kickstart the ecosystem. We bring the people in here, we get footfall. Footfall gets corporate South Africa excited. When corporate South Africa is excited, they invest. When they invest, we reduce the barrier of entry, we lower the cost of motorsport, and so the cycle continues.
I love that. Wayne, thank you so much for your time this morning, and I hope that you're going to have an awesome day out here at Kyalami today and tomorrow.
An absolute pleasure, and you guys are welcome. I'm glad you're here. And guys, come on down. It's going to be a lovely weekend.
Indeed, it will be a lovely weekend out here at Kyalami, the 9-hour endurance race taking place tomorrow. But you can hear behind me the cars already on the track for today's events. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's a good family environment, so do come through. But that's how we wrap it up as your Morning Live Sports for today and for the week right here on Morning Live.